Have you ever known someone who just handles things? They face a huge crisis, a job loss, a personal betrayal, and while everyone else is panicking, they just seem unfazed. Almost calm. It's not that they're emotionless. They just have a quiet strength that seems to turn chaos into stability. What do they know that the rest of us don't? Well, the secret isn't luck, and they weren't born that way. They are practicing a set of powerful emotional habits, grounded in ancient stoic wisdom, that turns adversity into an advantage. Their resilience isn't loud or flashy. It's built in the quiet moments, through small, consistent practices that almost no one ever sees. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 of these unseen habits. These are the tools that build an unshakable mind, allowing you to navigate life's storms with a steady hand. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about mastering them. The first habit of the quietly resilient is the deliberate pause. When faced with a challenge, an insult, or a sudden setback, most of us react instantly. It's a knee-jerk response, fueled by pure emotion. But the resilient person creates a tiny space between what happens and how they respond. They take a breath, a sip of water, or even just a moment of silence. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of immense power. The ancient Stoics knew that while we can't control what happens to us, we have total power over our reactions. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That power is found in the pause. By inserting this brief gap, they let their rational mind catch up to their emotional impulse. They break the cycle of automatic suffering. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask a better question. Is this within my control? Most of the time, the event isn't. But their response always is. This simple habit keeps their emotions from hijacking them, giving them the clarity to act with purpose instead of passion. To try this, the next time you feel triggered, just count to 3. Ask yourself, is this truly worth my peace? You'll be surprised how often the answer is no. The second habit is the art of flexible reframing. Quietly resilient people refuse to let a single event define their entire reality. While others might catastrophize and turn a setback into a sign of permanent failure, the resilient see it for what it is, one specific, temporary event. They practice what the Stoics call the view from above, an exercise in zooming out to see the bigger picture. From high enough, even the most daunting problems shrink. They ask themselves, will this matter in a day, a year, a decade? This doesn't dismiss the pain, but it puts it in its proper context. This mental habit is all about turning obstacles into opportunities. The Stoics taught that every challenge is a chance to practice a virtue, courage, patience, or wisdom. When someone is rude, it's a chance to practice patience. When a project fails, it's a lesson in perseverance. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So instead of seeing a problem and thinking, this is ruining everything, try to reframe it. Ask, what can I learn from this? Or, what virtue is this asking me to practice? This turns setbacks from verdicts on your worth into simple data points for growth. There's a huge misconception about resilience and stoicism, that it means suppressing your emotions. But the truly resilient don't block feelings, they process them with mindful detachment. The third habit is to feel emotions fully, but then release them before they become part of your identity. Think of emotions like the weather. A storm can be intense, but you know it will pass. You don't become the storm. Resilient people treat feelings like anger, sadness, or anxiety in the same way. They acknowledge the feeling, name it, this is frustration, or this is disappointment, and allow themselves to feel it for a moment. But they don't get stuck there. They don't let it become a story they tell themselves over and over. The philosopher Seneca compared this to captaining a ship. The goal isn't to stop the waves, but to learn to sail through them. You feel the wave, you adjust your sails, and you keep moving. Clinging to an emotion is like dropping anchor in the middle of a storm. To put this into practice, when a difficult emotion arises, just name it. Acknowledge it without judgment. Then, consciously shift your focus to a productive action, no matter how small. That small pivot is the difference between being controlled by your emotions and being in command of them. Many of us have a harsh inner critic that attacks us for every little mistake. We say things to ourselves we would never say to a friend. The fourth habit of the quietly resilient is to replace that inner critic with a voice of rational self-compassion. This isn't about empty self-praise or ignoring your flaws. It's about treating yourself with the same understanding you'd offer a struggling friend. The Stoics were all about self-command, and that includes commanding the harsh, ego-driven voice that tells you you're a failure. When a resilient person messes up, their internal dialogue isn't, "I'm a failure." It's more like, "Okay, I stumbled. What can I learn from this so I can do better next time?" They treat setbacks as data, not as a verdict on their character. This quiet, consistent correction of their inner voice builds profound strength over time. Try this yourself. Catch your negative self-talk in the act. When you hear that critical voice, challenge it. Ask, is this thought useful? Is it true? Is it kind? Replace harsh judgments with objective observations and forward-looking questions. This disciplined inner dialogue is a cornerstone of an unbreakable mind. During a crisis, the world can feel chaotic and out of control. This is when the fifth habit becomes a powerful anchor, focusing on routines and small, controllable wins. While others get overwhelmed by the size of the problem, the resilient shrink their focus to the immediate, manageable actions they can take right now. These routines don't have to be massive. It can be as simple as making your bed, brewing a cup of tea without your phone, or taking a 10-minute walk. These rituals act as a stabilizer for the nervous system, giving you a sense of normalcy when everything else feels off-kilter. The Stoics were masters of routine, using practices like daily journaling to stay grounded. Focusing on small wins is just as important. When a challenge feels huge, the resilient person breaks it down into tiny, achievable steps. They celebrate the win of sending one email or making one phone call. This creates momentum and rebuilds a sense of control. It proves to your own mind that even in chaos, you can still move forward. If you feel overwhelmed, shrink your focus. What is the one small thing you can accomplish in the next hour? Do that. Then, find the next one. These tiny victories are the building blocks of unstoppable resilience. This next habit sounds completely counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful tools in the Stoic arsenal: negative visualization. The quietly resilient don't just hope for the best, they prepare for the worst. Once a day, they take a few moments to deliberately imagine things going wrong. They might visualize losing their job, a project failing, or a relationship ending. The Roman Stoics, like Seneca, called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. The point isn't to cause anxiety, but to get rid of it. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, two things happen. First, you strip them of their power. When you've already visited a feared outcome in your mind, it loses its terror if it ever happens. You're prepared. Second, it makes you incredibly grateful for what you have right now. After thinking about losing your health, you appreciate the simple feeling of a steady breath. After imagining a loved one gone, you feel a surge of gratitude for their presence in your life. To start, take 1 minute each day. Choose something you value and briefly imagine it's not there. Then, open your eyes and feel the flood of gratitude that it still is. This practice builds mental toughness and deepens your appreciation for the present. The final habit ties everything together: mindful detachment from outcomes. Resilient people deeply understand the stoic dichotomy of control: some things are up to us, and others are not. They pour all their energy into what they can control, their effort, their choices, their character, and they learn to accept what they can't. This doesn't mean they don't have goals. It means they attach their success to their effort, not the result. Think of an archer. She can control her stance, her breath, and when she releases the arrow. She can't control a sudden gust of wind. The resilient person focuses on being the best archer possible. They find satisfaction in a well-aimed shot, no matter where the wind takes it. This mindset is incredibly liberating. When you detach from outcomes, you're free from the anxiety of failure and the ego of success. You can act with purpose, because your self-worth isn't on the line. You learn to love your fate, a concept the Stoics called amor fati. You don't just tolerate what happens, you embrace it as part of your journey. Practice this by shifting your focus from the goal to the process. Celebrate your effort and your discipline. When things don't go your way, remind yourself, that outcome wasn't entirely in my control, my response is. This quiet shift in perspective is the ultimate source of inner peace. These 7 habits aren't grand gestures. They're small, quiet, and consistent practices that build the unseen foundation of a resilient mind. When you start practicing them, you won't change overnight. Instead, you'll slowly build an inner fortress, one that can withstand any storm. So, which of these habits resonated with you the most? Which one will you try to practice this week? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this valuable, please like this video and subscribe for more insights on building a strong and peaceful mind. True resilience isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's a quiet, steady strength that comes from within. It's born from the pause before reacting, the power to reframe an obstacle, and the discipline to manage your inner world. It's found in routine, self-compassion, and embracing whatever comes your way. By adopting these habits, you're not just learning to survive crises. You are learning to thrive because of them. You're turning life's inevitable chaos into the very material from which you build your character and your peace. The strength is already in you. These habits just show you how to find it.